And welcome. Happy Holi in some parts of the country, certainly. Hope you've had a colorful and blessed Holi. On the show tonight, Operation Rakshak. That's right, the Cow Vigilante-Police Nexus exposed and caught on camera. We'll tell you more on that big story in a moment. Also tonight, actor-politician Khushbu Sundar speaks out on how she was abused as a child by her father. All that and more in a moment. But first, as always, it's time for the 9 headlines at 9. India Today's special investigation on cow vigilantism unravels a nexus between unscrupulous elements in the Haryana police and cow vigilantes who are out to make a quick buck. A day after Rahul Gandhi attacks the Modi government in the British Parliament, the government releases his attendance record in Lok Sabha. Asks where was free speech suppressed, wants to know how has Rahul Gandhi contributed to the political discourse. Enforcement Directorate grills Aam Aadmi Party leader Manish Sisodia inside Tihar jail in a liquor case. Sisodia secretary also quizzed by the CBI. Meanwhile, a BRS MLC K. Kavita's aide Arun Pillai arrested by the ED. Round 2 of the CBI's grilling of Lalu Prasad, the ex-Bihar Chief Minister is being probed for his alleged role in a land for job scam in the UPA era. Accused in Karnataka's Bridegate, BJP MLA Madal Virupakshappa resurfaces after getting interim bail. The Neta's son was caught red-handed taking a bribe, which led to an 8 crore cash haul. Poaching war erupts between allies BJP and AIDMK. 5 BJP leaders change sides, pledged support to EPS in 2 days. Fuming BJP issues a warning. Conrad Sangma takes oath as Meghalaya CM for a second time. Nefu Rio becomes Nagaland Chief Minister for a 5th term. Prime Minister Modi attends both the swearing-in ceremonies. And Group Captain Shaliza Dhami becomes the first woman to command a combat unit in the IF. She will oversee missile readiness and command control in one of India's most sensitive border areas. And in a big move to reassure investors, the Adani Group prepays share-backed financing of 7,374 crore rupees 2 years ahead of its maturity. But tonight's top focus is a special India Today investigation. Operation Rakshak is exposing the nexus between cow vigilantes and the police in Haryana, where only a few weeks ago 2 people were allegedly killed over suspicion of cow smuggling. That case has not been resolved, and the truth of the matter is that, as this investigation will show, Rakshaks on camera are admitting to violence. They also brag about using weapons to target suspected cow smugglers, often using it to blackmail them as well. Police officers are also caught on camera admitting that many of these cow vigilantes are involved in extortion. The police say their hands are tied and they are not able to act against the Rakshaks. The first part of this special investigation reveals just how this Rakshak network functions. A report by Mohammad Hizbullah and Nitin Jain that exposes and rips apart the facade of Rakshaks being vigilantes who actually are benefiting society. Instead, they are the darker side. Take a look.
A burnt SUV with 2 charred bodies inside. The victims, Junaid and Nasir from Rajasthan. Beaten, set on fire by alleged cow vigilantes in Haryana last month. Their attackers allegedly thought them to be cattle smugglers. Vigilante justice under the spotlight again. And India Today's special investigation team has found the twin killings may not be one of a kind in Haryana. Our probe discovered the scourge of violent Rakshaks could have spread far and wide in the state. Meet Ramesh Kumar, based in Rohtak. He leads a cow protection squad. When probed, Kumar explained how his gang operates. His shocking confessions caught on camera. Vigilantes like him in cahoots with unscrupulous elements in the local police, unleashing their terror on cattle transporters.
हम तो पुलिस के है ना, पैसे कमाने के लिए पुलिस की एटीएम है। हम तस्करों को पकड़ के दे देते हैं पुलिस को, वो पैसे ले देकर छोड़ देते हैं।
तो क्या पुलिस आप लोगों को बताती है कि यहाँ पकड़ो, यहाँ पकड़ो, यहाँ पकड़ो?
हाँ बिल्कुल बताती है।
और आप लोग जाके रेड करते हैं?
हाँ,
पहले
बिल्कुल, बाद में पुलिस ने बुलावा। प्रशासन के साथ मिलकर काम कर रहे हैं। उस साइड से गौ माता की भर के गाड़ी आ रही है, कसाई आ रहे हैं, आप हमारा साथ दो, ठीक है। जब कानून की तरफ से इशारा हमें ये मिलेगा ना, ये साले और फॉलो हो रहे हैं, इनको रोको, जब हम रोकेंगे, नहीं तो हम कानून का इंतजार करते हैं।
अगर जब ऐसे इन्होंने बोला रोको तब गोली चलाएंगे?
हाँ, ये बात सच्चाई है। देखो हमें ये पता, कानून के साथ मिलकर चलाएंगे, सारी उम्र चलाएंगे।
You heard this Rakshak leader disclosing how some rogue police personnel set gangs like his upon transporters ferrying livestock. But these vigilantes don't limit their attacks to inflicting injuries on their victims. Ramesh Kumar admitted his men could go to the extent of killing cow transporters if they suspect them to be butchers.
गौ काटेंगे तो फिर आगे काटेंगे इनको। देखो हमारी आस्था और ठेस पहुंचा रहे हैं।
बिल्कुल सही।
और अकेला मेरा धर्म नहीं है, सभी का धर्म है। गौ काटेंगे तो फिर आगे काटेंगे इनको। देखो हमारी आस्था और ठेस पहुंचा रहे हैं।
बिल्कुल सही।
और अकेला मेरा धर्म नहीं है, सभी का धर्म है।
आपके अंदर कितने बच्चे काम करते हैं?
मेरे करीब 850 बच्चे।
850 लोग मतलब?
You heard Ramesh Kumar's startling confession. How his Rakshak squad could turn murderous on the slightest suspicion.
मेरे 70 गांव रोहतक जिले में।
He claimed his men are even accompanied by police to the usual routes of cattle vehicles, which they attack with firearms during night.
तो कितनी राउंड फायरिंग होती है आप लोगों के बीच? कितना फायर?
300 राउंड फायर देखे हैं।
किए कितने?
300 राउंड फायर एक रात में हमने किए हुए।
एक रात में? 300 फायर?
300।
अब पुलिस कहाँ है? इतनी फायरिंग हो रही तो
बहुत राउंड डाउन पुलिस भी साथ है। जो बॉम्बे आई हुई है ना, इस पर पुलिस भी साथ थी।
तो उनको आप लोगों को आगे रख के पुलिस काम करती है?
हाँ।
300 राउंड आपने चलाया?
Leading the police from the front in their deadly assaults on livestock transporters, Ramesh Kumar now revealed the source of ammunition. If he is to be believed, most of the gunshots they use are donated by their fanatic supporters.
तो गोली हथियार वगैरह कहाँ से लाते हैं?
ये लाइसेंस ये सब संगठन के हैं।
अच्छा, संगठन के हैं।
ये संगठन के
कितने हैं?
ये संगठन में करीब होंगे 23-24 हथियार।
23-24 हथियार।
हाँ।
तो गोली वगैरह मिल जाता है?
गोली वगैरह मिल जाता है, आप जैसे भाई सहयोग आ जाते हैं, ठीक है।
वो मैं कह रहा हूँ
आप जैसे आप बोल रहे हो भाई हम सेवा करना चाहते हैं, भाई जी देखो हमने तो गाड़ी में तेल चाहिए और गोली चाहिए, हम पैसे आ क्या कराएं, तेल की टंकी फुल करवा दो और आप महीने में 100 गोली देने लग जाओ, 50 देने लग जाओ। इस तरह जिसको भरोसा है हम पे कि ये बच्चे शादी में गोली नहीं चलाएंगे, ये तो सिर्फ वही कसाईयों पे चलाएंगे। ऐसे ऐसे गो भगत भी हैं, वो यही बोलते हैं ले मेरे लाइसेंस रिवॉल्वर भी ले जा, पर कसाई मरना चाहिए कोई।
अच्छा
हाँ।
तो ये कितनी गोली आपको महीने में चाहिए?
500 ग्राउंड हमारी ओर सता जाओ महीने की।
तो ये लोग जब पकड़े जाते हैं, हाँ, तो उनके साथ क्या होता है कुछ, या फिर पुलिस को दे देते हैं? हम
है देखो इन खूब तोड़ के पुलिस को दे देते हैं।
खूब
मार पिटाई करी, पुलिस को दे दी।
We next visit Palwal in Haryana. Ravi Pujari is another self-proclaimed Rakshak with a group. He disclosed how his men would ambush livestock carrying vehicles at night using pump guns.
हम रात में काम करते हैं।
अच्छा, जैसे
क्योंकि किसी के घर पर रेड गेम नहीं, वहाँ से गाय पहुँच गई, गाड़ी होगी, वहाँ से फिर वो गाय कवर करनी, लेकिन हम किसी को मारते नहीं।
मतलब इंटरनल छोड़ देते हैं।
हाँ, ऐसा कर देते हैं कि वो दोबारा गाय नहीं खोल पाएगा।
अच्छा, इतना मार देते हैं।
उसके कहीं चोट नहीं देते, ना कभी सिर में दी, कभी ना पैरों में दी, उसकी सीधे पसलियों को सेट कर देते हैं बढ़िया वाले।
अच्छा,
हाँ, जो सांस भी लेगा तो हर टाइम याद करेगा कि कभी 3 से मिले थे या 3 वाले से। जैसे गाय की गाड़ी आई भर के, हम खड़े हैं यहाँ पे, मुनगटी पे बाइक गाड़ी क्रॉस होगी, तो जो हमारा बंदा बैठा होगा वहाँ पे, तो वो बोलेगा कि ये गाड़ी है जैन, तो वो नंबर दे देगा और वो पूरी है। हम उस गाड़ी पे कांटा मारेंगे, तो वो रुक गई तो ठीक है, नहीं तो फिर गोली मारेंगे।
हाँ। कितनी फायर करनी पड़ती है आप लोगों को?
जितना हो गए। अब मेरी जो पंप गन है उसमें 8 है, एक बार में उड़ा देते हैं सीधा।
8 क्या?
8 के पैर पे उड़ाते हैं, गाड़ी रोकनी है।
Reckless in their assaults, Ravi Pujari now admitted that his gang has stocked illegal weapons to carry out their deadly raids.
बट लग तो कहीं भी सकती है ना
भाई देखो, तीर निकलने के बाद तो वो कहीं भी लगेगा तो है ही हो, खाली पे भी लग सकता है, घर पे भी लग सकता है। हमें लाइसेंस या हथियारों की जरूरत नहीं।
अच्छा,
जिस दिन सामना होगा उस दिन अवैध से ही होगा, लाइसेंस ही आराम से दर्ज आ जाती है। बहुत अच्छा लगा।
We next meet this cow vigilante. Thakur Manish admitted that their attacks on cattle transporters even provoke mob justice.
फिर उसके साथ जो करना था वो किया। और
क्या किया?
पुलिस को मारपीट भी की थी। वो तो पब्लिक रहे होती है फिर वो सब। एक्चुअल में क्या है, ज़्यादातर पेट में हो गया, या फिर दिल को बचाते हुए लेफ्ट साइड में, या फिर कंधे वगैरह पे गुमजोड़, जो हिलने डुलने में ज़्यादा परेशानी ना हो। कमर पे
कितना मारा?
मारने गए, वो फिलहाल मर चुका है 6 महीने से। ये नहीं है कि मैं अकेला ही मारने वाला था,
मतलब हाँ, जो ग्रुप है जो पूरा
पब्लिक, उस टाइम पे पब्लिक भी आ जाती है। आपको पता है ये अड्डा है, बिगावली अड्डा है 3।
A glaring admission about a fatal attack on a cow trader. The victim apparently died from injuries he suffered from the assault mounted by Thakur Manish's group. This guy Rakshak also confessed to using firearms.
क्या क्या चलाते हो?
मैंने तो ये 2 ही चीज़ चलाई हैं।
क्या?
315 और सिक्सर।
ये 2 चीज़ आप चला लेते हो? ये सब गौरक्षा में ही चला।
Describing their brutal methods on camera, the violence they unleash on streets and highways in Haryana. Stay tuned for more on Operation Rakshak. A report by Mohammad Hizbullah and Nitin Jain for India Today's Special Investigation Team.
So there you saw it, Rakshaks openly on camera claiming that they have the firearms, that they have the protection and patronage of the local police, and at times that they therefore are used to actually extract and extort money from the alleged cow smugglers. Now the second part of our investigation goes even deeper into uncovering this possible nexus between unscrupulous elements in the Haryana police and the cow vigilantes. The police either looked the other way or breached the basic rules of policing in dealing with the Rakshaks. Mohammad Hizbullah and Nitin Jain have more.
The proliferation of killer cow vigilantes in Haryana. Senior police personnel, our team investigated, revealed these Rakshaks are extortionists. At Firozpur, Jhirka in Haryana's New, DSP Satish Kumar acknowledged that many of the so-called Rakshaks are out to blackmail cattle traders.
गाड़ी अगर नहीं सोता हो गया पैसे ले जो गाय की गाड़ी लेकर आ रहा है तो पैसे कमा रहा है, 10-20-50 हजार की गाड़ी छूट गई तो चुपचाप निकलेगा और कंप्लेन करेगा। इनका पूरा धंधा यही था।
You heard an officer of the rank of a deputy superintendent of police admitting that extortionists in the guise of Gau Rakshaks are rampaging through parts of Haryana. He also acknowledged police don't act against them the way they should. DSP Satish Kumar disclosed how cops instead favor the Gau Rakshaks.
अच्छा, क्योंकि ये बिना पुलिस को जैसे कर दी रेड वहाँ उसे तन से हाईवे टकर के ज्यादा बंदे टकर गए तो वो इकट्ठे उनको घेर लेते हैं, 11-11 लेके जाते हैं, लाइसेंस ही उनके जैसे वो लोग ले आते हैं, जैसे मारपीट के लिए आए तो आप लोग फिर उसको जज के सामने कैसे बोलते हैं उसको कहाँ से मारपीट लगा? मारपीट करते हैं हम, ऐसा नहीं करते नहीं, मारपीट वाले को हम फिर वो करते हैं कि भाई हम नहीं लेंगे। अच्छा, और कोई ऐसा मेरे सामने नहीं आया ऐसा चीज। अच्छा, हाँ, इतना भी ये हुआ इतना मार को पीटते नहीं, वो टूट हुए।
You heard this DSP saying no cases of assault, abduction or extortion are filed against armed vigilantes. The pattern seems common in other parts of Haryana. At Dhoj, in the state's Faridabad district, Dharamveer Singh is the additional SHO of the local police station. When investigated, he also corroborated how Gau Rakshaks assault cattle transporters, beat them up mercilessly, and then bring their victims to the police.
गौ रक्षक सेवा तो कर रहे हो, लेकिन खाली सेवा इसी को थोड़ी कहते हैं। गौ रक्षक तो किसने गाय का रक्षा करे करो, आपने कितनी गायों की रक्षा करी है, आपने कितनी गायों को खाना चारा पानी दिया है, वो तो कोई नहीं करता। सिर्फ ये जरूर है, चलो जी मैं मारने चलता हूँ, मेरे पास पिस्टल आ गई, हमने गाड़ी को गोली मार दूंगा, वो तो अधिकार नहीं।
अच्छा, ऐसा गौ रक्षक ऐसे करते हैं?
अभी बहुत कर रहे हैं, हिंदू मुसलमान की आड़ में ये काम भी नहीं कर रहे।
Vigilante gangs doing it in the name of religion. This police officer now explained how cops play to the Gau Rakshak gallery.
ऐसे पुलिस लाचार हो जाती है।
पुलिस लाचार है। अब हम हिंदू की तरफ देखें, हिंदू है, हम हिंदू की तरफ देखें, मुसलमान की तरफ जाएं। अगर हम मुसलमान की तरफ जाएं, समय देखो गद्दार है नहीं पुलिस वाला, और अगर उसकी तरफ देखें तो देखें कानून की अपनी ड्यूटी को ऊपर नहीं कर रहा।
पीट पाट के लाते हैं आप लोगों के पास,
तो पीट के थोड़ा बहुत तो चला ले, अगले के हाथ पैर तोड़ दिए, मुंह फोड़ दिया, दांत तोड़ दिया, कान से खून, मुंह से नाक से खून आ रहा है, इस कंडीशन में क्या करेंगे? हमें तो मेडिकल करा के उसको जेल पहुंचाना है, 24 घंटे का हमारे पास टाइम होता है। जज साहब देखे भाई ये कैसे,
इसमें आप लोग छोड़ देते होंगे भाई?
नहीं छोड़ने तो नहीं, उस टाइम केस ना बनाएगा, तुझे रोक देते हैं तक जब तक उसका ठीक ना हो जाए।
ओहो,
ये अंदर की बात है, कभी इसलिए
नहीं ये तो
Charging the victims under the Anti-Cow Slaughter Act and letting the attacking vigilantes go. Dharamveer Singh revealed how the injured cattle transporters are taken into illegal custody for days and cases filed against them once they recover.
गिरफ्तारी नहीं दिखाते
नहीं, बाद में दिखा देते हैं।
अब वो क्या करेंगे आदमी?
आपने क्राइम ऐसे कर रखा है, कैसे क्या देगा?
लेकिन उनको पीटा तो गौ रक्षकों ने ना,
गौ रक्षकों ने पीटा। कई बार पब्लिक नहीं देखता है यार, अगर नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि वो वीडियो बनाए बैठे हैं।
कौन?
गोरक्षक दल वाले।
अच्छा।
हमने इनको पकड़ा और इनको ये दिया, लेकिन वो ये नहीं दिखाते हमने इनको किस कंडीशन में दिया।
अच्छा, तो आप ऐसे में उसके खिलाफ
कई बार ऐसा आ जाता है, धर्म को लेकर थोड़ा सा नीचे देखना पड़ जाता है। पब्लिक की भावनाओं को देखकर, समाज की भावनाओं को देखकर थोड़ा सा ध्यान करना पड़ जाता है। यार ये अत्याचार कर रहे हैं पशु पे, तो इनको सजा तो मिलनी चाहिए। अब तो इनको सजा तो मिले, पर इनको सजा देगा वो गलत है। इन्होंने जान जोखिम में डाल के अगर इनको पकड़ा है और उसके लिए इन्होंने कुछ कोशिश कर दिया, क्राइम कर दिया, तो उसको इग्नोर कर दिया।
Bully, terrorize, assault and rob. The harrowing tale of cow vigilantes in Haryana. A stark reminder of the urgent need for the state authorities to act before it's too late. A report by Mohammad Hizbullah and Nitin Jain for India Today's Special Investigation Team.
Shocking stories there coming in on the Rakshak-Police Nexus in Haryana. The big questions tonight: has the government in states like Haryana given the Rakshaks a free rein? Who will control the Rakshaks? Police being shackled by political pressure in such cases. Vikram Singh is former IPS officer and a DG in Uttar Pradesh. Gauri Mauliki is trustee People for Animals. Vishnu Shankar Jain is Supreme Court lawyer. I want to come to each of you for opening remarks on what you've just seen. You, Vikram Singh, first as a cop, seeing policemen virtually saying that they do in many cases provide patronage to these cow vigilantes who in the name of cow vigilantism or Gau Rakshaks are committing all kinds of atrocities, including murder.
Rajdeep ji, I would not like to believe what I have seen just now. Absolute complicity of the staff, not only just the lower ranks, but comparatively senior ranks officers with the so-called Gau Rakshaks. Their complicity does not end in not registering the appropriate crimes, but also giving a free run to the cow vigilantes and also being a part of the loot as well. I'm happy that you've taken.
No, are you surprised, Vikram Singh, by this, or is this again one of those worst kept secrets that required to be caught on camera?
No, I'm indeed very shocked and surprised both. I did not expect this level of complicity, Mr. Rajdeep. This level of complicity, as is brought out by the confessions of Ravi Pujari, Thakur Mahesh, Ramesh, and also Dharamveer Singh, the additional SHO, speaks volumes about the close nexus between the cow vigilantes and the lower rank of police. They are partners in loot. Shocking to say the least, and I'm ashamed of this unholy nexus.
Vishnu Shankar Jain, you've been a Supreme Court lawyer, you've appeared for the Vishwa Hindu Parishad in cases. Now you've got the Gau Rakshak Dal, some of whom owe allegiance to Hindutva groups. Your response to what you're hearing, they seem to be operating almost as extortionists, not necessarily as those who are protectors of the cow.
Look, Rajdeep, very, very happy Holi to all of you and to you as well. And I expect some kind of time so that I can explain my thing. And first of all, I would like to congratulate the team of India Today and especially Mr. Mohammad Hizbullah as well as Nitin Jain, who has done this extensive investigative journalism. But at the same time, I would also like to request and I would like to beg today on your channel that please try to show the pain of the family of Ashok Kumar Yadav, who was brutally murdered by cow smugglers. Please do some investigative journalism like this, like you have run Operation Cow Vigilantism. Please run Operation Cow Smuggler. And please show the story of Ashok Kumar Yadav. Please show the story of Choke Lal. Please show the story of Constable Ghansham and two others who were brutally murdered. Please show the story of Manoj Mishra, who were murdered by 50 to 60 cow smugglers. Please show the story of Prashant Pujari, who was brutally murdered on 9th October 2015. Please show the story of Arun Kumar Mahar, who was brutally murdered. Please show the story of Dalit minor guard Nirdesh Singh. Please show the story of Dinesh Kumar. Please show the story of Tiloki Tiwari, 56 years old, brutally murdered. Please show the story of Datta Ram, who was brutally murdered in Azamgarh. All these murders were done, Rajdeep, by cow smugglers. And I would request that please show this investigative journalism that how cow smuggling is done. And
we had exposed the cow
let me allow
smugglers.
me
We had
to
exposed
say
the cow
that
smugglers
what
as well a
State
few years
section-
ago. It does not justify people taking the law into their hands.
I'm not saying. I'm congratulating your team.
You're saying there's another side,
congratulating
as you're calling
your
it,
team.
to the story.
Extensive,
Gauri,
very good work.
Okay, Gauri,
There is another side.
You believe that this is a more nuanced, complex issue. You're a trustee for People for Animals. Now, in the name of cow protection, if people are going to turn into mafias that extort money, that work with local cops, that have access to firearms, what's the message that's going on?
Yeah, thank you, Rajdeep. So, I'll just make some quick legal points and that's about it. So, vigilantism, extortion, certainly a cognizable non-bailable offence under the Indian Penal Code, and anybody who does it, whether it's a cow vigilante or a arms dealer or anybody dealing in drugs, must be punished and law must take its course. However, the cow vigilantes are a low-hanging fruit. Great that India today has done a intensive, research on them, but, their support level is up to an SHO or probably an SSP level. We must go a little deeper and look at what is the genesis of this problem. Where are these people coming from? Where are these cattle coming from? Which is basically a problem of the dairies, which are letting these cattle out, and they are being smuggled en masse into Bangladesh with the connivance of chief ministers. That's an investigation that is worth the time of India today. Secondly, these people may have been taking law into their own hands, and they must be taken to court or whatever. The law must take its own course. But could you also focus your cameras in the vehicles that these cattle are being taken in? What is the condition of those cattle? Isn't the person who is, abandoning these cattle after having commercially abused them all their life to be responsible? Do you know that India is the largest beef exporter in the country, yet we have very few licensed slaughterhouses, which means all of the slaughter that happens in the country, most of it, especially for domestic consumption, is illegal? Could you also do an investigative journalism, and I'm sounding much more like the previous speaker you had, into what is happening in Malda, what is happening in Murshidabad, what is happening in Kolkata, in Mathia Bruj, in Nuh, Mewat. Those are the places which compel people to take action. Not all will be in abidance with law, and they must be punished. The Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, which has frustrated everybody in the country with just absolutely, ridiculous penalties, not amended since 1960, must be amended so that the police is able to take animal crime seriously and take action in these cases.
No one is going to support cow smuggling, but the answer to cow smuggling cannot be Gau Rakshaks who, in the name of vigilantism,
the law supports it currently by being silent, on animal crime, by putting a penalty of 50 rupees on animal crime. The law is supporting it. And that is what is frustrating the Aam Aadmi. That is what is putting us in danger. When cows are on the street, somebody has to, protect them, or what, might not be doing it in the correct way and must be punished for that. But who is doing that? The dairies are doing that. Abandonment may be, an offence, but is non-cognizable. 50 rupee penalty. Police doesn't take action. What do people do?
No, people cannot take law into their own hands and bash
there
up.
There is a lacuna in law which must be
agreed.
filled.
If there are lacuna in the law, they need to be removed, but the answer cannot be taking law into their own hands. I'll just give you an example. Remember, just a few weeks ago, Junaid and just a minute. Just a few weeks ago, Junaid and Nasir were allegedly abducted from Rajasthan, allegedly murdered in Bhiwani last month by Gau Rakshaks over suspicion of cattle smuggling. Now, the Rajasthan police have named 9 suspects, but till now only one accused, Rinku Saini, has been arrested. The rest are all absconding. That's the worry, Vishnu, that the fact is that, for all your fire and brimstone, it appears that the state patronizes, supports some of these groups. That's the worry. That state patronage also has to go. Please Fix the loopholes in the law.
Rajdeep,
That's one part of it. Fix the loopholes in the law. Let the process be more transparent of transportation. But you cannot have the law being seen to be so one-sided and partisan.
No, absolutely, Rajdeep, and I second the thoughts which has been spoken here by Gauri Maulikhi, and very nicely she has said so. And I would like to add to something what she has said. Definitely, you are right, Rajdeep, and I am with you on the principle that no one has the authority in this country to take law in their own hands. Definitely I'm with you on this point. But I'm also on the root cause of the problem, and I'm requesting you again and again that please answer the root cause of the problem, that why cow smuggling is happening. Despite out of 20 states in our country, 28 states in our country, 20 states, 20 states in our country have cow protection laws. And despite that sad fact, India is the largest exporter of the beef in the world. Why cow smuggling is happening? That's the first question which has to be answered. I am not supporting vigilantism. Let there be no Gau Rakshak. Let there be no vigilantism. Let no one take law in their own hands. But please try to answer this very important question, that why cow smuggling is happening. And as my fellow panelist Gauri Maulikhi has said, that there is state patronage to it. There are border states like West Bengal who are allowing cow smuggling to various other countries like Bangladesh. Why it is not stopping? So this is the root cause of problem. I am not saying that, okay, there has to be violence in the name of cow. Okay. I am a Jain, I am a believer. I don't want to eat beef. But I have a right to say that please don't create violence in the name of beef. Definitely I am saying so. Okay. But at least stop cow smuggling. Please do some investigative journalism for these 10 names which I have just said. Yes, and Gauri, the list goes on and on, Rajdeep.
Okay, Gauri wants to respond. A quick word.
Yes, Rajdeep, I think this is a result. All these chaotic activities are a result of bad policies of the government. We are encouraging export of meat. We are encouraging export of milk. We are increasing milk supply. We are encouraging dairies all over the place. But we have no forward linkage for retired cattle, which then fall into wrong hands, which then get smuggled out. So a comprehensive policy is required at the central government level, which ensures that if we are generating more cattle through artificial insemination in dairies, we have a procedure for them to be kept till their retirement if they are not to be slaughtered. And a uniform law across the country is required, because the whole chaos started when during Indira Gandhi's time, cattle protection became a state subject and each state started to have their own policies. That's the gap which needs to be covered. A comprehensive central government policy is required, and the laws need to be upgraded. It's been 63 years.
I agree with you. The laws need to be amended, but you also need law enforcement that is not corrupted in the manner that it is. It needs to act against cow smugglers, but it also needs to act against cow vigilantism, which tries to take the law into their own hands. That really is the critical question, and that's what our investigation seeks to expose. Otherwise, we are living really in Jungle Raj and not according to the constitution of the country. But I appreciate my guest joining us on our top story tonight. Think about what that story has revealed. Let's turn from there to another revelation today, and it comes from actor turned politician Khushbu Sundar. Khushbu, who recently was nominated as a member of the National Commission for Women, has opened up about her story of how she was sexually assaulted as a child and teenager by her own father. The BJP leader says that her father began abusing her at the age of 8 and she could only speak up against him after she turned 15. She added that when she eventually revolted against her father, he abandoned the family and they didn't know where the next meal would come from. Well, joining me now is Khushbu Sundar to tell us why she's come out and spoken out in this manner. Khushbu Sundar, you've come out openly, spoken out about sexual abuse you were inflicted upon as a child by your father. Huge admission that you've made, and it perhaps has taken you a lot of time to actually come out and go public with it. What eventually made you decide to speak out about the sexual abuse that you were confronted with as a child by your own father?
Rajdeep, I think it's just, you need to find courage at some point to speak the truth, what you have been through. my daughters have been my biggest supporters. And it's not that they come to know about my sexual abuse through this news, what I've spoken. They have known about it much earlier. I did open to them about it, and they are aware of it. So my family, my husband or my children, it's not a news to them. They know about it. But to me, I think, when you look around, every time there's an abuse, every time there's a rape, the first thing what everyone wants to know is ask the girl, what did you do to provoke the man? तुमने क्या किया? तुमने कैसे कपड़े पहने थे? तुम उस वक्त वहां क्या कर रही थी? You would have spoken to him. You would have given him the lead to be there. I think an 8-year-old does not give any lead. Though who's raped does not give any lead when she is raped. A nun is raped, and who do you blame that for? I mean, it's crazy that every time the victim is asked these kind of questions and the perpetrators go free, unse koi sawal nahi puchta that what gave you the guts and courage to behave in such a beastly manner. Mm-hmm. And this has been with me. I have been holding it up for such a long time. I'm 52 today, and I revolted against my father at the age of 15. All these years, it has been within me. And when I spoke about this in Delhi, not even Delhi, in Jaipur, and when my husband read about it, and all he said is, "You're feeling better now?" Because he knew it was, it was there in me. Ek bottle mein band karke rakha hua tha. So all he said is, "You're feeling better, feeling lighter?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Chalo, let's go for the next."
You said you bottled it up inside you all these years. What was it like, if I may take you back, when you actually confronted your father at the age of 15 who was sexually abusing you? What was that like for you?
I don't know where that courage came from. My father, when he left us, when I started rebelling and revolting against him, when I said enough, no is no. And then he started finding reasons that as to why I am not doing well in my career. Because I had not started doing anything in the South, and I had just begun my work in Mumbai. And for him, that a woman, that to a 15-year-old kid, could stand up against him is something he was not able to take in. And probably that's why he just left us. He just left us. He took everything, because I was a minor. Everything, my bank accounts, my jewelry, they were in locker. My bank accounts were handled by him. All my work was handled by him. So he just took everything. And when he left, he told me, he broke my car, and I had just picked up a car then. He broke my car, and he said, "You will come back to me begging on or crawling on all your fours and begging me to take you back." And I said, that is never going to happen in this lifetime. And I still remember the date very clearly. 13th of September, 1986 is when he left us. And from then till now, I have never spoken to him. I have never, ever spoken to him, because I just shut my mind. And for me, I have always believed that I had only one parent, and that is my mother. So I didn't have great regards for him any which ways. So I think I just shut my mind.
How did your mother, if I may ask, see this? The fact that she probably knew that her child was being sexually abused by her husband. She was presumably a huge source of support for you. Where did that courage come from, and how did she deal with this?
Yes, definitely. That's where the courage came from, because for a very long time, I didn't tell my mother about it. And when I told my mother about it, my mom was furious, and she started fighting against me. She said, "You can't do this to your own daughter." And she didn't have the education. She didn't have anything. She was a single person, and her more worry was about the 4 kids. What are we going to do? But then she decided that she was going to stay back with me. And believe me, in these long years, she has never turned around and looked at her husband. And what I have heard that he died last year. So my mom was least bothered. All she said was, people like him are not worth to live on this planet.
As you said, this happened in 1986. We are now in 2023. Was it fear, Khushbu, in some way that prevented you from speaking out all these years? Fear of the repercussions of telling this story?
Not fear. I don't know. It was definitely not fear, but probably it has taken me so long to evolve as a complete woman to speak. Because until unless you don't evolve completely, you don't understand yourself completely, you don't feel that this is the time to speak. And it just happened. It wasn't planned that I have to speak. It just happened. I was among these young kids there, all the school going and college going kids, and we were talking about women courage and empowerment and everything. So I thought it was the right time to give a message. And I wasn't ashamed to speak about it. And I think that is something which just came out. It wasn't planned or anything.
When you look back though, do you have any regrets at all that perhaps you didn't use the laws, you did not criminally prosecute your father, that your father in a way got away with it? Are there any regrets, or is this just the way it was meant to be?
Me walking out on him, me mustering up the courage to stand up against him was the best thing I've ever done. But yes, probably I would have taken an action had I found these kind of laws, the POCSO laws, or the kind of social platform we have today where we can reach out to each other, share each other's problems. You see out of nowhere people come supporting you. Had this kind of a platform or this kind of laws, the stricter laws what we have been there, then probably I would have taken him to a task in a completely different way. I wouldn't have waited for this long. But it's not easy. It's not easy to forget everything. And then you continue in life saying that sab theek hai. I mean, it took me so long. And I really feel so light. I really feel ki, there's some kind of peace now. It was there within me. And everyone knows, my husband, my children, that somewhere it kept on disturbing me. It kept on hitting me. Like I said, you can't forget. You just can't forget. I mean, it scars you. It really scars you for life. So it's not easy to come out of it and say that, "Arey hua, so it's okay, let's carry on." No, hua. Galat hua. Bahut galat hua. किसी के साथ नहीं होना चाहिए. मेरे साथ हुआ और किसी के साथ नहीं होना चाहिए. And probably that's why people see when I react so strongly when it comes to my family. I turn and always say I'm a wounded tigress when it comes to my family. If somebody tries to touch my family. And probably these emotions, every time when I speak about a woman who is wronged, who's sexually assaulted, raped, and when our children, for that matter, when I speak so passionately that these things need to stop, is because probably I'm a victim of this, and I know how it hurts.
Has it, as you said, you said it scarred you. Has it scarred you? How has it changed you? You said it scarred you for life in a way. Are you someone now, because of your family and the protection that you have, and because this happened in the distant past, is this simply a dark nightmare that you've now finally been able to get over? Have you forgotten it? Can you ever really forget it?
No, I can never forget it. Not till my last breath. It's a reminder. It's a reminder that I have been through something like this, and that is when it gives me the strength to fight more. I have put it behind me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come this far. I wouldn't have had this beautiful family that I have. I'm extremely protective about my girls, and that is why I keep a very open relationship with my daughters, where I want them to come and speak to me if anyone tries to act funny with them. And I gave them these lessons about birds and bees much earlier, when they were much earlier, even before they attend the puberty, much earlier, because I wanted them to be aware about how it works in this. And 90% of these kind of cases, when you see in child abuse, 90% of them are within your own circle, your friends, your family, or someone your family knows about it. So that is what is very, very frightening. And that is when you need to really make sure that your children are safe. And I don't want to, yes, it has scarred me for life. The heels have wounded because of the kind of the journey what I've had, and the kind of family I have, the family support, my friends support, all that I have. The wound has healed, but the scar will remain. Scar is never going to go back.
So a final question, therefore. You're now a member of the National Commission for Women. What is your message today to young women who may perhaps even have gone through some of what you have? Should they just come out, speak out? What's your message to women who are victims of child sexual abuse?
All I would like to tell them is, you don't have to take it. The laws are different. And we have something like NCW now to look after you, to take care of you, to protect you, and to make sure that you get justice. At any point, you don't have to give in. You don't have to bear with it. You have to have the courage to come out and speak and show the perpetrator to the public. He has to be shamed. You're not supposed to be ashamed. I'm not ashamed to what happened to me. My father should have been ashamed of himself to do something like this to me. And I say this to every girl. You don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to say, "Arey, what will happen? What will the society think?" No, you don't have to be ashamed about what happened to you. The person who's done this to you, he should be brought to books. He should be exposed to the world, because he has a family and they should know the kind of man they live with. So, and everybody else needs to be extremely careful, because this man spells danger. So you have to tell others that this man is not fit enough to be your friend or somebody you know, your relative or anyone, and he needs to be exposed. So all I would like to tell these girls is, don't be scared, have the courage to speak, because that is when it is going to stop. Most of the men, and I stayed quiet for 7 long years because I was blackmailed by my father. Said, you speak about it, you tell this to anybody, and I will make sure that your mother is beaten up black and blue, or your brothers are beaten up. So that fear was within me, and I don't want any other girl to go through that.
Khushbu Sundar, you've spoken about a part of your life. You've shared it with us, perhaps this dark nightmare. As you said, you're hoping that you're feeling a lot lighter, but I appreciate you speaking out in the manner that you have. Thank you so much for joining me here on the news today. Not often that we get people speaking out on these issues. Let's take a break at this point. When we return, we'll bring you happier news. Holy fever is gripping India. We'll tell you how the BSF Jawans are celebrating it at the international border, and also how our cricketers are celebrating it. Back in a moment.
जैसे सबसे तेज आपकी टैगलाइन है, तो इसी तरह से सबसे तेज हमारी सरकार की लाइफलाइन है.
Leader must have a vision.
We will continue to work with the developing and the developed world for win-win solutions.
Nature had of course willed the survival of the fittest.
हम आतंकवाद के खिलाफ जीरो टॉलरेंस की पॉलिसी को अपनाए हुए हैं.
1 साल के अंदर राहुल कन्वर की कार जो होगी वो इलेक्ट्रिक की होगी.
There is a confrontation of competing visions.
Age is just a number. This line fits perfectly for Dharamchand from Haryana. He is 86 but is still running, jumping and winning medals. His secret?
मैं बच्चों को सबको यही प्रेरणा देता हूँ कि आप मेरी तरह ग्राउंड के साथ जुड़े और सब वैभव से मुक्त होकर आप अपनी सेहत को, अपने शरीर को ठीक रखें. सन 68 से लेकर आज तक मैं कंटिन्यूड रेगुलर पोजीशन लेता आ रहा हूँ.
The 4th National Masters Athletics Championship, which recently took place in Kurukshetra, saw more than 2,400 participants from 22 states. 72-year-old Mahavir Singh is one of them.
मैं यही संदेश देना चाहता हूँ, भाई नशे से दूर रहें और खेलों से जुड़ें. आप खेलना जरूरी है, कोई जरूरी नहीं कोई मेडल जीते. मेरे को 40 साल खेलते हुए हो गए हैं और 20 साल से मैं इसमें मास्टर एथलेटिक्स एसोसिएशन में खेलता हूँ.
Several women also participated in different events.
हमारे टाइम में लड़कियों को खेलने का मौका नहीं मिलता था, तो एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म मुझे लगता है कि ये हमें मिला है कि इस उम्र में आके भी हम मेहनत करके अपनी अचीवमेंट ले सकते हैं। और एक ये ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है कि इस पे अगर आप आएंगे तो शायद मुझे जो लगता है, अपने जीवन से जो लगता है कि हम किसी गलत ट्रैक पर नहीं जाएंगे।
The message these athletes are sending is, it is never too late to chase your passion. Bureau Report, India Today.
Welcome back. Now remember, it's Holi in some parts of the country, like in my city of Mumbai, but it's Holi tomorrow in Delhi. Either way, Border Security Force Jawans celebrated Holi at the international border in the Samba sector of Jammu. And why not? For them, it's a home away from home, soldiers offering sweets to each other, even dancing with the locals. It's a Good News Today story.
As the festival of colour arrives, the country is dipped in holy fervour. Our brave Jawans posted along the border, keeping a strict vigil to ensure we can celebrate this festival, also indulged in spreading some love and colour. Far from home, Jawans along the India-Pakistan border and the LOC from Jaisalmer to Jammu celebrated Holi. Jawans celebrated Holi at the international border in the Samba sector of Jammu and Kashmir, far from their families. They celebrated Holi with locals, offering sweets, singing and dancing together.
Entire nation is celebrating the festival of colors, Holi, with great joy and enthusiasm. We are at the India-Pakistan international border, and here you can see that there is massive enthusiasm among our brave hearts, among our BSF Jawans. They are dancing and celebrating this occasion. They may be away from their families, but there is no grudge on their faces.
I hope that all Indians are celebrating the colorful festival of Holi, so everyone should be enjoy.
The Border Security Force Jawans in Jaisalmer organized a Holi Samaroh with a dash of patriotism. Playing with colour and dancing away, these Jawans chanted Bharat Mata Ki Jai slogans.
Bharat Mata Ki Jai! Bharat Mata Ki Jai! BSF Ki Jai! BSF Ki Jai!
ऐसा महसूस लग रहा है अपने घर में, अपने परिवार में होली मिला रहे हैं। ये हमारा परिवार है, यही हमारा घर है। हम देश की रक्षा के लिए सीमा पे बैठे हैं। किसी किस्म की कोई भी घटना नहीं होने देंगे। जो 24 आवर्स हम सीमा पे तैयार खड़े हैं।
सब त्योहार है जो किसी धर्म या संप्रदाय का नहीं है, वो सभी धर्मों के लिए समान है और इसमें हम सब मन मिटा के एक दूसरे को गले लगाते हैं और गुलाल लगाते हैं और देश को हम ये संदेश देना चाहते हैं कि हम एक्स्ट्रा अलर्ट होके त्योहार पे ड्यूटी कर रहे हैं, वो सुरक्षित होली मनाएं।
But for these heroes, it's a brief celebration with sweets and colour as they continue to keep a close watch day and night at our borders. With Sunilji Bhatt in Jammu, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let's leave you then tonight with images of Holi from our cricketers. A viral video shared by Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma and former captain Virat Kohli, all drenched in colours and grooving to the iconic song Rang Barse. We leave you with these visuals and I wish you a happy, safe and colourful Holi. Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe. Good night. Shubhratri. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
Baby, calm down. Calm down. Baby, calm down. Calm down.